Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me today as we dive into one of the most profound and liberating lessons that Stoicism has to offer, the art of letting go. In a world driven by constant attachment to material possessions, expectations, and even relationships, the wisdom of the Stoics provides a powerful antidote to the anxiety and dissatisfaction that often accompany these attachments. Stoicism teaches us that the root of suffering lies in our attachment to things beyond our control, whether it's wealth, status, or even the opinions of others. The Stoic philosophers, such as Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius, remind us that while we may influence the world around us, we ultimately control only one thing: our mind, our reactions, and our inner state. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic thinkers, once said, "It is not things that disturb us, but our interpretation of their significance." This means that it's not the things themselves, our jobs, our possessions, our relationships, that cause us pain. Rather, it is our attachment to these things, our deep emotional investment, and the belief that we cannot be happy without them. So, what does it mean to let go? Letting go is not about abandoning our responsibilities or becoming indifferent to the people and things in our lives. It is about releasing the false belief that our happiness depends on external circumstances. It's about understanding that everything we have, everything we hold dear, is temporary. Whether it's the job we worked so hard for, the relationships we cherish, or even our own health, none of these are guaranteed. The Stoics remind us to approach life with a light touch, knowing that at any moment we may need to release what we hold on to. Marcus Aurelius, another revered Stoic, put it beautifully: receive without pride, let go without attachment. To receive without pride means to welcome the gifts of life without letting them define who we are. To let go without attachment means to face loss with grace and acceptance, recognizing that the only constant in life is change. This mindset helps us cultivate resilience. When we no longer see ourselves as victims of circumstance, we become empowered. We understand that our peace and happiness come from within, from how we respond to the ups and downs of life, rather than the events themselves. Let's consider an everyday example. Imagine you've worked hard to achieve something: a promotion, a relationship, or a financial goal. Stoicism doesn't teach us to stop caring or to avoid ambition, but it does teach us to approach our goals with detachment. This means doing our best, pursuing our dreams, but always remembering that the outcome is not fully in our hands. By recognizing that success or failure is ultimately beyond our control, we protect ourselves from the emotional roller coaster that often comes with attachment. Now, what about our relationships? Many of us are deeply attached to the people we love, and understandably so. But here too, Stoicism encourages us to love without clinging. It's the recognition that even the people we care about the most are not ours to keep. They too are temporary, whether through the natural course of life or changing circumstances. The people we cherish may leave, change, or drift apart. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, advised us to love as if you will lose. This does not mean living in constant fear of loss, but rather appreciating the present moment fully and without expectation. When we release our attachments to outcomes, we begin to love more freely, more generously, and more authentically. We understand that the true joy of love lies in the giving, not in trying to hold on. So how can we begin to practice this art of letting go in our daily lives? First, we must cultivate awareness. Whenever we find ourselves gripped by anxiety or fear of loss, we should pause and ask ourselves, am I clinging to something that's beyond my control? This simple question can shift our perspective and remind us of the transient nature of life. Second, we should embrace the Stoic practice of negative visualization, the idea of mentally preparing for loss before it happens. By imagining that we might lose what we value, whether it's a prized possession, a relationship, or even our own health, we inoculate ourselves against the shock and despair that often come with unexpected loss. This practice doesn't make us pessimistic, it makes us prepared. Lastly, we must learn to find joy in the present moment. Instead of being consumed by what we may lose in the future, we should fully appreciate what we have today. Every moment, every experience, every person in our lives is a gift. By embracing the present and releasing our attachments to what might happen tomorrow, we can experience life more fully and with greater peace. In closing, the art of letting go is not about giving up or becoming indifferent. It's about realizing that true peace comes not from clinging to the things we value, but from knowing that we can still find joy, meaning, and purpose, even when life doesn't go according to plan. Stoicism empowers us to live freely by teaching us to love and appreciate everything we have, while understanding that nothing is permanent. So let us embrace this wisdom. Let us release our attachments, and let us live with a sense of calm, gratitude, and inner strength. The art of letting go is not a loss, it is the ultimate freedom.